Dynasty 2017. If you're in America, it's on the CW, and in the rest of the world, it's on Netflix. We got one catfight, we got 3 references to Alexis, and we had a whole lot of fun. Here's my top 10 moments from episode 1. Number 1, those fabulous tiger print red Louboutins that Fallon was wearing. She was wearing them on a Learjet, and I think those shoes upstaged the Learjet. Number 2, when Fallon is giving her opening monologue, she's setting up the whole premise of the show, we get a little flashback, and it is so cute. We have Stephen on the piano playing the original theme tune to Dynasty, and we have little Fallon rapping Salt and Pepper's Doper Than Dope. I would so buy that mashup if it was on iTunes. I want that to be my ringtone. 3, I really loved Anders. We're talking Jim from Neighbours. I know he's been lots of other things, but he'll always be Jim from Neighbours to me. You've got to love a snobby butler, and Alan Dale plays it to a T. I was particularly loving the clearly newly shaved head. It was very pale. He was tan to about here, and then he was really pale. Somehow I feel that added something to the character. Crystal goes down to the kitchen and sees all the preparation going on for the engagement party and says to Anders that she wants something low-key, that, you know, her friends don't care about the stemware. He informs her that her friends will be 1% of the party and the stemware is for the other 99%. And she says, how ironic. She also informs him she would prefer Bowie to a string quartet, thoroughly approve of that, and some wildflowers. And he says, I will see if the gardener can find any weeds for you. And later in the episode, he tells her, this is after they're married, this is as she's waiting, she's fully kitted up in her white hat and dress and coat with a nice powerful shoulder, by the way. And he tells her that amongst his myriad responsibilities is hiring the staff, and when he does a background check. And after hearing about the little tryst, he did a background check on her and he knows everything. That's right, whatever her secrets are, and clearly they're good ones because she looks like she wants to be ill, but clearly he's not going to have it out now. This will be eked out over the episodes to come, no doubt. You feel like he's getting his inspiration from Sir John Gielgud in Arthur. You know, that whole terrible snob but with a heart of gold. I think he's going to be a lot of fun. Number 4, the references to Alexis. We got our first reference with Fallon saying to Blake after finding out he's engaged to Crystal, I wonder what Mum would have to say about your child bride. The second one came when Stephen was trying to cheer up Fallon after a catfight with Crystal and says, this is all about Mum. You stepped into her shoes after she left and now you feel like you're being replaced. Oh, the third one was towards the end, after Crystal and Blake have got married, Crystal says to Stephen, I don't know anything about the first Mrs. Carrington. I love it because that's a shout out to series 2 of the original Dynasty, where Dr. Nick talks about the first Mrs. Carrington sounding like a trashy novel. And it does. Number 5, there were great lines in this episode, but one of my favourites was Fallon and Stephen have been summoned home. They walk in on their father having a little tryst on his desk with Crystal. Blake says, what are you doing here? And Stephen's response is, who are you doing here? Love it. 6. Stephen indulges in a bit of afternoon delight with Sam, a chap that he met in a bar, and Sam finds a wedge of money in Stephen's pocket. Sam then appears at the wedding, and it turns out that he is Crystal's nephew. Anyway, he apologizes to Stephen and said, thank you so much for not outing me that I, took the money. And he said, what money? And he said, I took a couple of $100 from your trousers. And he said, I didn't even notice. That's how rich the Carringtons are. 7. The setting is now Atlanta. This is a personal one, really. It used to be in Denver. It's now Atlanta. I love it. I used to live in Atlanta. So I'm enjoying all the references to Edgewood, Buckhead, and the Atlanta Braves. 8. When Fallon realizes that the engagement party is now a wedding, she takes the cake decoration, the bride and groom, and goes to talk to Crystal. And during the conversation bites the head off the bride. This is all in anticipation of her ripping the dress. They go at it. So catfights were a stable part of Dynasty back in the 80s, but there was always a long build-up. It was always Alexis winding the hell up out of Crystal and then Crystal just letting rip. She just, couldn't take it anymore. Then we fell into ponds, we fell into muds, we fought in art studios. A lot of slapping. Anyway, episode 1, we get a full-on catfight, although Crystal does say we've got time for this later. But they go for it. Fallon rips her dress, there's an open hand slap, although Crystal catches it. And actually Crystal ends up looking like she gets the better of Fallon. Fallon looks pretty deflated, because up until that point she said, you know, it's an engagement. This wedding is going ahead, even if she's bitten off the head of the bride from the cake decoration. 9. Fallon returned home thinking she was going to get the COO job of her father's company, only to find out that it's been given to Crystal. She's already wound up because she's found out they're actually getting married. It's not just an engagement party. So she's already pissed off, and now she realized she's lost the job, and she says to Crystal, that job was mine. Crystal, I know, that's why I turned it down the first time, but then I met you. Fallon, bite me. Crystal, please. Call me Mum. And my number 10 favourite moment of the episode, in a show that obviously paying a lot of attention to fashion, we had the great dress of Elizabeth Gillies, you know, the black and white one, we had good shoes, but my favourite was Monique Colby's dress. That was a fantastic dress and she looked gorgeous. I want to know, are you original Dynasty fans? Are you coming to this getting all the Easter eggs? Are you seeing what's coming? Do you know the history? Or are you completely new to this? I have to say, I'm a fan of the original, thoroughly enjoyed this. So we're 1 episode in, let's see where they go with this. Dynasty 2017.
I knew we weren't that ugly, I knew it.